Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Tassos Kilimos. Happy to be joining you guys for another edition of NBA Player Prop Parlay right here on the Guy Boston Sports YouTube channel. Happy Monday, everybody. Beginning of a new week, which means a new slate of NBA Player Prop Parlays to share with you guys. Hope you guys have an awesome week. Hope we, as a community, have an awesome week here on the channel. Quick recap of last week. Our last video on Saturday, we did miss the mark. 3 out of 4 legs of that parlay hit. The last leg, LeBron over 14.5 rebounds plus assists. He finished with 10. LeBron screwed us. It's why he's not my GOAT. Just saying. But overall, so guys, solid week. We hit 2 out of 5 parlays last week. We won over 11 units last week. We were up over 20 units the last 2 weeks on this video series. So we've been on the money, really. I gave out 17 player props last week. We hit on 14 out of 17 player props. It's over 82% hit rate. And on the season as a whole, if you stretch that data out, I've given out 168 player props so far this season. We've cashed on 133 of them. That's just shy of an 80% hit rate. So we have been on the money all year long with these player props. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, join the Guy Boston Sports community. You don't want to miss these videos, I promise you. Even though if we lose a couple here and then, we always make it back up. So make sure hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Guys, 3-leg parlay to get to today. Let's dive right in. For a 3-leg parlay, this has got a pretty nice amount of value to it, so I'm really excited to share this with you guys. Here we go. First leg of our 3-leg parlay, we are targeting the Sacramento Kings Cleveland Cavaliers game, which kicks off at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We are going with Darius Garland of the Cleveland Cavaliers over 17.5 points plus assists. Gonna go ahead and kick this to the Outliers screen. Guys, you don't know what Outliers, they're the sponsor of every NBA Player Prop Parlay video here on the channel. And when you use the exclusive link in the description below, you get a 7-day free trial to try Outlier out for yourself. All the data, all the stats, everything that I show you guys in these videos, you can use it too if you try Outlier for yourself. Again, link in the description below, 7-day free trial to try it out for yourself. So here we go. First leg, Darius Garland over 17.5 points plus assists. And you see here, he has hit this in 8 of his last 10 games. But this is very similar to a prop I gave you on Saturday that I want to explain. Now, on Saturday, I gave you an Evan Mobley prop for the Cavs, and he's kind of in the same boat as Garland, where they're both returning from injury. They're both on minutes restrictions, so a lot of the data is a little bit misleading. Like, when you look here on the season total, in the 2023 season, he's hit this at an 83% hit rate. 19 out of 23 games, he has cashed this over. You look at his last 20 games, 16 of his last 20, 80% hit rate. When you look at that data, you think this is a no-brainer bet. The problem, again, is that he is on a minutes restriction. He is still recovering from injury. So this isn't technically Darius Garland that we know. This line wouldn't be at 17.5 or even 18.5 if he were 100% healthy playing his normal minutes. This line would be a lot higher. But like the Evan Mobley prop on Saturday, which we did cash, I feel confident that even if he's on a minutes restriction, even if he only plays about 25 minutes, I think you should be able to cash this line. When you look at the head-to-head data, 2 of the last 3 times he's faced off with the Kings, including the one time they played this season on November 13th, he has cashed this line on November 13th. He had 16 points and 6 assists. So we know he can hit it versus this Kings team, and it makes sense. Look at the right side of the screen here at the defensive matchup. The Kings, bottom 10 in both points allowed and assists allowed to opposing teams. This is not one of the great defensive teams in the NBA. And you look at versus the point guard position in particular, you see they're bottom half of the league, giving up about 24.5 points per game to opposing point guards, and they are bottom 4 in assists allowed, giving up 9 assists per game. So a really solid defensive matchup. We know he can hit it. He already hit it once this year against the Kings. The only concern, again, is the fact that he's on a minute restriction. You see the last 3 times he played Sacramento, 33 minutes, 35 minutes, almost 34 minutes. So the minute side of things is where we're a little bit concerned, but since he's been back, you see here, let's look at his last 5 games. So he's been back for 3 games here. You see here, January 31st, February 1st, and February 3rd. His last 2 games, he missed this mark. He really hasn't been shooting. This last game, he only took 3 shot attempts against San Antonio on Saturday. But his first game back against Detroit, he only played 20 minutes this game, I believe. Yeah, 20.5 minutes, and he cashed this line. 19 points, 3 assists. So despite the minutes restriction, despite coming back from injury, I still love this for the first leg of our 3-leg parlay. All right, guys, moving right along here. Second leg of our 3-leg parlay. We are targeting the Warriors-Nets game, which kicks off at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. We're going with Spencer Dinwiddie of the Brooklyn Nets over 17.5 points plus assists. Literally the exact same line we have for Darius Garland. Oh, by the way, little spoiler alert, all the player props today are the same. They're all points plus assists, and I'm pretty sure actually they're all the exact same number, which it's got to be a sign. Angel numbers, 333. But here we go. Spencer Dinwiddie over 17.5 points plus assists. You see here he's covered this in 5 of his last 10 games. And if you look at the 2023 season as a whole, it's not too bad. 52% hit rate. He's hit it in 24 out of 46 games. So he does hit this a good amount of the time. And you really like to see this. The one time that they played Golden State this season, back on December 16th, he crushed this number, almost doubled it. He had 16 points and 14 assists the last time they played Golden State. And it makes sense. Look at the right side of the screen here. Overall, defensively, the Warriors are bottom 10 in points allowed, and they're about middle of the road in assists allowed in total. But versus the point guard position, you see here, bottom 3 in points allowed, giving up 26 points per game to opposing point guards, and they are bottom half of the league in assists allowed, giving up just shy of 9 assists per game. It's a solid defensive matchup for Dinwiddie. He's already covered it once this season against the Warriors. They struggle a little bit versus point guards. Steph Curry defensively is not that great of a player. And I think Spencer Dinwiddie, I know the data doesn't look great here. Like I said, you see here, only 5 of his last 10 games, 52% hit rate on the season. But I think this is a really big matchup pick for me. Like, I just love the matchup so much. And the line at 17.5, we're getting this on DraftKings at minus 105. You see here, it's available on a lot of sports books. It's really good value considering, again, he had 16 points and 14 assists when they played just 2 months ago. So love this for the second leg of our parlay. And apologies, guys. Again, I keep saying it, but my voice, if it sounds a little funny, I am still a little bit sick. So I still, my voice is not 100% back yet. So if I do sound a little different still, I'm getting closer and closer. I'm like 85% healthy, 80% healthy. So we are getting there, but I'm still a little sick. Just to clarify, if you guys are wondering why my voice still sounds a little different. Comment 7 if you made it this far in the video, because we are entering our third and final leg of today's parlay. So make sure comment 7 down below. Here we go, guys. Third leg of our 3-leg parlay. We're going with the Raptors-Pelicans game, which kicks off at 8 p.m. Eastern time. We're going with Jonas Valanciunas of the New Orleans Pelicans. And like I told you guys, these are all the same lines, over 17.5 points plus assists. It's going to be a pretty easy parlay to remember. It's all 3 of them over 17.5 points plus assists. That's not planned. It's just a coincidence of the lines. But here we go. Jonas Valanciunas. Again, another one. Available on a lot of sports books. On DraftKings, we're getting it at minus 110, but it's available pretty much everywhere. Valanciunas has hit this in 6 of his last 10 games. It's a 60% hit rate. You look at his last 20, not great. 8 of his last 20 games, 40% hit rate. And you look at the 2023 season as a whole, again, not great. 45% hit rate on the year, 22 out of 49 games. You look at the head-to-head data. He's covered this in one of the last 2 meetings versus the Raptors. They have not played this season, but each of the last 2 times you saw on November 30th of last season, he did cash this line. On February 23rd of last year, he did not cash this line. So you guys are probably all wondering, Tasa, why do you like this pick then? The data is not great. The head-to-head data isn't even that great. Why do you like it? Well, this is another one like our Spencer Dinwiddie prop. It's another matchup stat where I really like the matchup. I think Jonas Valanciunas could go off in this matchup. Look at versus centers. Toronto, not very good. Look at the right side of the screen here. Bottom 5 in points allowed, giving up about 20 points per game to opposing centers. And in assists allowed, they are bottom 10, giving up just about 4 assists per game to opposing centers. So defensively, they're one of the bottom 10 teams in both categories. Great defensive matchup here for Valanciunas. I could take an alternate line, and I actually thought about taking an alternate line, going to like 15.5, for example. The data gets a little bit better. 61% hit rate on the year, 30 of 49 games. I'm taking a little risk here, though. I'm feeling a little ballsy. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because we've been hitting props at such a high rate lately. I'm taking a little risk. I'm going to go for a higher value here. We'll take the 17.5 points. I think he has a big game. I think he could easily have like 18 points and like 4 assists and cash this line. So I'm going to take the risk here. Usually in this spot, I would take an alternate line, bring that down a little bit. I'm going to trust my gut here. I really feel strongly about this. And we look at the matchup here. Look at the injuries for New Orleans. Nothing really too crazy. I mean, Zion's a game time decision. We'll see what happens there. If he doesn't play, then I particularly love this prop. I think the line will probably jump, if he's out. But that's the third and final leg of today's parlay. All right, guys, take a look at our ticket here. 3-leg parlay plus 521 odds for a 3-leg parlay. That's some crazy good value. All the lines, again, very easy to remember. All of them over 17.5 points plus assists. Again, that wasn't intentional, but we're going to hope that that's lucky, that that's a sign that it means something, that this parlay is destined to cash. Again, normally, like the Dinwiddie prop and the Valanciunas prop, normally I'd probably take an alternate line for both those. But again, I'm feeling risky. I'm feeling ballsy. If you want to take an alternate line, bring that down. The money will obviously drop a little bit, but it'll be a little bit safer. The data does help it a little bit more. But again, Love these matchup spots. I think all three of these are really good defensive matchups for their players. So that is it for me today, guys. Thank you very much as always for watching. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button, guys. We have been crushing it of late. Let's carry that positive momentum into this week. Let me win you guys some more money. Let me win you more money. Make sure to stick around. Keep watching these videos. Keep joining the Guy Boston Sports community. Check out Ev's videos. He does a fantastic job with his NBA picks videos as well. Guys, that is it from me. Until tomorrow, hope you're all winners.